Chapter 5. David gets engaged to Dora. David stays at Yarmouth to help Peggotty settle the affairs of her husband, and he also finds that Mr. Buck is holding off for his wife. And David remains at Yarmouth to support Peggotty and settle her family affairs or problems with her husband, who is Mr. Barkis. And who is Peggotty? Students have already taught you that Mrs. Peggotty is David's family mate, and she is like a family member to them. David always gets a supreme satisfaction of personal and professional nature in the company of Peggotty, and he finds a contentment in the company of Peggotty and doing everything for her, and he wants to give her all and every support. He takes charge of Mr. Barkis' will and expounds its contents, and he also takes the responsibility of Mr. Barkis' will. What is will? That is the property. David finds himself quite a proctor when he reads the will aloud with all possible ceremony. And David reads the will of Mr. Barkis and gives provision to whom they are concerned. That means to whom it is connected with. David finds that Peggotty has a large inheritance. And finally, David comes to know that Peggotty has a big property left by her ancestors. David comes to know that Emily and Ham now engaged are to be married. And finally, David comes to knowledge, or he knows that Emily and Ham are going to be married. But then comes the news from Ham that little Emily has run away with Steeple. And suddenly a bad news comes to David that little Emily has run away with Steeple. She has left a letter begging for everyone to forgive and forget her. And she has left a letter behind in which she was begging forgive. And she was asking pardon, and she also requested to forget her. She also professes her love for Mr. Peggotty, and she conveys her love to Mr. Peggotty and swears, and she accepts that she will not return unless she becomes a lady, and she decides that she will never come back unless she becomes a lady. Mr. Peggotty then takes a vow. Vow means to take a pledge, okay, that he will find out little Emily. And Mr. Peggotty finally decides to search little Emily, bring her back, and to call her back, and nothing can stop her, okay. The news of this eloping has spread through the town, and this news was spread all over the town. The next morning, David overhears people speaking about this incident at their doors. And finally, David comes to know that people were talking about this incident. He finds some people hard upon Emily while others hard upon Steeple. And he also finds some persons or peoples who were very harsh towards Emily for her step. But almost all the people have respect for Emily's father. But finally, they give honor to Emily's father and the lovers in distress. And they are also sympathetic with the lovers who are in disappointment. This certainly shows the gentleness and delicacy of society. And finally, it shows the gentleness. That means attitude. What attitude? A very sober and decent attitude towards the lovers. Mr. Peggotty shakes his head and asks David where he should seek Emily. And Mr. Peggotty asks David that where he should search Emily. He also asks David if he is going to London the next day. And he also questions David if he was going to London next day. David replies that he is not going, but is ready to help him in every possible manner. And David responses that he will help him in searching them in each and every possible way. David hopes that she will not refuse to see him in this hour of sorrow. And David hopes that Mrs. Steeple will not reject to support him in this critical moment. He suggests 2 o'clock in the afternoon as the time of meeting, and they make their presence at Steeple's door at the appointed time. And they all meet at Mrs. Steeple's home at the decided time. When they reach there, Mrs. Steeple rants on and on that little Emily is at fault. Rants means to speak loudly again and again. And she speaks that Emily was not guilty and she was not a sinner. And Mr. Peggotty as well for not giving Emily a good upbringing. And she shouts that Mr. Peggotty hasn't given her a good upbringing. That means she was not brought up properly. She was not educated or she was not taught well since childhood. Miss Dartle blames David because it was he who introduced Steve to Emily. Okay, and Miss Dartle puts all the blame upon David because it was David who had introduced Steve to Emily. Mr. Peggotty then decides to go separately and find Emily. And finally, Mr. Peggotty decides to search Emily and tells David that he finds her first, he should tell her. And he also tells David that if he sees Emily or he finds Emily, he should inform him. Mr. Peggotty loves her and has forgiven her. And Mr. Peggotty has forgiven the sin of Emily. All this while, David misses Dora dearly, but he never dares to visit her. And in the moment, David feels the absence of Dora, but he never takes courage or boldness to meet her or to visit her. He takes Peggotty to Mr. Spenlow's office to settle her affairs, and he takes Mr. Peggotty to Spenlow's office to solve the dispute and runs into Mr. Murdstone, who is getting his new marriage license there. Peggotty accuses Murdstone of causing the death of David's mother, and Peggotty also blames Murdstone for the death of David's mother, Clara. And it takes a lot of David's effort, and David tries best to restrain her. While they are about to leave, and when they were about to leave, Mr. Spenlow invites David to his daughter's birthday party, and Mr. Spenlow gives invitation David to birthday party of his daughter. David is very excited to see Dora and presents her a bouquet at the party, and David gifted Dora a bouquet. However, another man is paying attention to her, but what David sees that another man is taking interest in Dora. David feels jealous and he feels envious, but Dora's friend Mrs. Mills reconciles him and Dora, and soon they get secretly engaged. But Mrs. Mills becomes a party between them, and soon David and Dora get engaged secretly. His joy knows no bounds, but he is unaware, and although there is no bound, there is no limitation of his joy, but he is unknown of what the future has in store for him, and he is unaware of the future. He is cheered up, he is happy by a surprise visit from Traddles, because he visits Traddle, or he meets Traddle, who tells David about this finance software. Okay? She funded her property for some time and then let it go out on landed security. So students, Miss Betsy, who was going through a financial loss because she has lost her business. In the beginning it did well, and in the former time her business was doing well and paid very good return, and she earned a good amount. She had a desire for some new investment, and she had new plannings also. This time she had a taste of foreign market, which turned out to be a very bad market, and she also had a liking for a foreign market, which turned very bad. As a result, she had suffered loss in the mining field. She also faced loss in the mining field, and next in the diving field also she has suffered heavy loss, and in diving field also she faced loss and has fallen to pieces. David is sure that his aunt cannot even pay small amounts, which means she has no money, and David is assured that she doesn't have money at all. Moreover, his aunt does not approve of his love for Dora Spenlow throughout the night, but she didn't accept David's love for Dora Spenlow. The next day, he goes to Mr. Spenlow, and the coming day, David goes to Mr. Spenlow to cancel his apprenticeship. Apprenticeship, that is a job, that is a working on low salary, on low wages. However, Mr. Spenlow says he will not refund any money that Miss Betsy has paid to allow David to start his apprenticeship. Okay, that means Mr. Spenlow refuses to return the amount that was paid to him by Miss Betsy for the apprenticeship of David. Few days later, David runs into Agnes, who comforts him after listening to Miss Betsy's trouble. And after a few days, David goes to Agnes, who consoles him after listening to the problems of Miss Betsy's troubles. And what are the troubles? They are financial problems. That means money problems. She tells him that Uriah, along with his mother, has moved in with her, and Mr. Wickfield, therefore the house is miserable. And Uriah has left with her mother, and she is with Mr. Wickfield, and the house is in a pathetic or miserable condition. Agnes also suggests that he should get a job as Dr. Strong's secretary. And Agnes also advises David that he will get a job as a secretary of Mr. Strong, who needs a helping hand, and who Dr. Strong needs a supporting hand to complete his dictionary. She then says that Dr. Strong keeps himself busy in his study early in the morning and in the evening. And Dr. Strong is quite busy, studying from morning till evening. And David will have enough time for his leisure. And David will have plenty of time. Knowing about this opportunity, David feels delighted. And David is excited. He is too much pleased at the prospect of earning his own bread. And when he comes to know that he will earn his own livelihood, he is joyful. So great is the prospect of working under his old master. And it was a wonderful experience for David to work under the supervision of his old master. At once he sits down and writes a letter to Dr. Strong expressing his object. And finally he sits and writes a letter. To whom? To Dr. Strong, expressing his views, his opinion. So students, it was a great opportunity for David to work under Dr. Strong. And he also plans or decides to take care of Dora and proving himself to be worthy to her. Worthy, that means deserving. He is very busy now. Now David becomes so busy that he gets up 5 in the morning and comes late at 9 or 10. However, he is very much contented. Contented means satisfied. That is fully engaged and has no time to waste away in other ways. David is sure that the more he works, the more he can deserve Dora, because he has not changed his mind on Dora till now. And he decides to work harder and harder. He also dreams that he has bought a beautiful house for Dora. And he dreams of purchasing a house. And Dr. Strong receives him happily, and he is excited to have David to help with his dictionary. And Dr. Strong is so much pleased helping David in his work of dictionary. David enjoys his work because he feels that by working hard, he is proving himself worthy of Dora. And David is enjoying work. He likes to work harder and wants to prove more worthy for Dora. So he works much harder. Just like David, Mr. Dick also wants to help Miss Betsy. And same like David, Mr. Dick also supports Miss Betsy. So he starts copying legal documents for traders. Okay? And what is legal? That means court papers. They start copying for traders. Meanwhile, David receives a letter from Mr. McKeever saying that he is moving once more. And David gets a letter from Mr. McKeever. So David and traders have dinner with the McKeevers. And finally they had a dinner together. Who? David and traders. Over the dinner table, Treadle reveals means discloses. Treadle discloses that Mr. McKeever is going to work for Uriah. And he discloses that Mr. McKeever is working for Uriah, which is quite unsettling for David. And that makes David disturbed. All this while, Dora has no clue about David's dreadful financial state. And besides all this, Dora has no idea regarding David's poor financial condition. So he goes to meet her and let her know. When she learns everything, she begins to cry. And when she comes to know about the fact, she starts weeping. And she does not want to live poor. And Dora doesn't want to live like a poor person. She becomes more hysterical. Hysterical means it's... So students, Dora suffers from a hysterical disease. And what kind of disease is? When one can't control his or her emotions. And Mrs. Mills, she supports David at this critical situation. And she also helps David to carry his domestic life better. Later, David gets a shocking news. And what was this news? that Mr. Spenlow has died in an accident, and this shocking news was about Mr. Spenlow's death. To make the matter worse, and for making this matter worse, Dora refuses to see him, and she refuses to go and see. That it would be disrespectful for her late father. His only connection to Dora is through Mrs. Mills, and she is connected to her father only because of Mrs. Mill, who reads the diary entries about Dora to him, and who read the diary to Dora. Dora has no other relations than her aunts, and her only relatives are her Madden sisters and Mr. Spenlow, and they live at Putney, and had only chance communication with their brother Mr. Spenlow for several years, and it was a connection or communication to them for many years. Unfortunately, these sisters have emerged from their retirement and have proposed to take Dora to live with them at Putney, and they have suggested Dora to live in Putney. So after the funeral, after her father's funeral, they appeared at Dora's house. They came to meet Dora. After Dora's refusal to meet David, he was very sad. And when Dora refused to meet David, he felt disappointed. To get this in mind of Dora, his Aunt Betsy sends him to Dover to have a check on the house there. And Betsy sends to have a look upon Dora. David finds everything in satisfactory state, and what David finds that everything was well at the aunt's cottage. He is required to finish some business there, and he stays one night at Dover, and he spends his one night at Dover. He gets up early in the morning and walks to Canterbury, and early in the morning he leaves for Canterbury. He appears at Mr. Wickfield's house and finds Mr. Micawber playing with his pen in a serious mood. And arriving at Mr. Wickfield's house, what he sees that Mr. Micawber was playing along with his pen. Okay? Mr. Micawber is glad to see David, but seems to be a little confused, and is little bit confused to see David. He intends to present David before Uriah Heep, and he wanted to present David in front of who? Uriah Heep. But David refuses to meet Uriah Heep, and finally David rejects to meet her. Then David comes to know that Mr. Micawber has become the tenant of Uriah Heep's old house, and finally Mr. Micawber comes in knowledge that David is the renter of Mr. Mrs. Uriah Heep, and that Mr. Micawber will be happy to see him. Okay? Nevertheless, he is glad to see Agnes and talk to her about the current situation, and he never minds to talk Agnes about the situation. She asks him to write Dora's aunt and seek the permission to see Dora, and she also writes a letter to Dora's aunt to allow Dora or permit Dora to meet them. Afterwards, David and Agnes speak because of Mr. Heep's constant presence. That was Uriah Heep pronounces his love for Agnes, and Uriah Heep conveys her love for Agnes, but later grows angry. But finally she becomes furious, or she becomes annoyed and shouts at Uriah. Okay, the following day, David leaves after heartfelt goodbye with Agnes, and he says a goodbye. He bids a goodbye to Agnes, and he was uncomfortable. He was not feeling easy with Uriah Heep.